Said to be buried together, for thousands of years, the mystery of the lost tomb of Cleopatra and Mark Antony has remained a mystery. Perhaps that is, until today. This never-before-seen tunnel has been something regarded as an engineering miracle. And while that whole thing is huge, how does all of this happen in the first place?
The discovery of Cleopatra's tomb is undeniably one of the most thrilling and mysterious achievements in archaeology. Cleopatra VII, the final ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, has fascinated people for centuries with her intelligence, political shrewdness, and her famous romances with Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. For ages, the location of her final resting place remained one of history's most elusive mysteries. The breakthrough in the search for Cleopatra's tomb emerged in the early 21st century. This incredible discovery was driven by Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's former Minister of Antiquities, and Kathleen Martinez, a Dominican lawyer turned self-taught archaeologist with a deep passion for Cleopatra. Martinez, fueled by her admiration for Cleopatra and her extensive research of ancient texts, posited that Cleopatra and Mark Antony were buried in the temple of Taposiris Magna, near the ancient city of Alexandria. Martinez's theory was rooted in a detailed analysis of historical accounts by Plutarch and Cassius Dio, suggesting Cleopatra might have been buried in a temple dedicated to the goddess Isis. This idea contrasted with the prevailing belief that Cleopatra was interred within Alexandria itself. In 2005, Martinez obtained permission from the Egyptian authorities to commence excavations at Taposiris Magna. The excavation at Taposiris Magna was challenging. The site, located on the edge of the Libyan desert, posed significant difficulties due to its unstable structures and the complex layers of archaeological deposits. Over several years, the team uncovered notable artifacts, including coins with Cleopatra's likeness, statues, and inscriptions, all supporting the hypothesis that the site was connected to Cleopatra. A particularly intriguing aspect of this discovery was the mysterious and seemingly serendipitous nature of many findings. Key discoveries often coincided with unusual weather events like sudden sandstorms and unexpected rains, almost as if guiding the archaeologists to crucial areas. Some team members reported vivid dreams and visions of ancient rituals, which they interpreted as spiritual guidance. An especially fascinating discovery was a large, unfinished tunnel beneath the temple, leading to a series of chambers. This tunnel, carved with precise craftsmanship, suggested that the burial complex was intended for someone of extraordinary significance, possibly Cleopatra herself. Inside these chambers, the team found a hidden room containing a collection of golden artifacts and inscriptions referring to a Queen of Kings, a title often linked to Cleopatra. The initial announcement of the discovery of Cleopatra's tomb attracted immense media attention and widespread public interest. Press conferences were held, documentaries were produced, and the artifacts were meticulously catalogued and preserved. Many of these artifacts, including statues, jewelry, and coins, were exhibited in museums worldwide, drawing millions of visitors eager to learn more about Cleopatra and her era. Following the discovery, Taposiris Magna became a focal point for ongoing archaeological research. Scholars and historians collaborated to further investigate the surrounding area, uncovering additional structures and artifacts that offered more insights into the Ptolemaic period. The discovery also led to a re-evaluation of other potential burial sites across Egypt, prompting new excavations and yielding fresh historical data. The site itself transformed into a popular tourist destination, significantly boosting the local economy and fostering a deeper appreciation for Egypt's rich cultural heritage. Educational programs and public lectures spread the knowledge gained from the discovery, inspiring a new generation of archaeologists and historians. Cleopatra's tomb holds a treasure trove of unique and fascinating facts that shed light on her life and reign. One of the most remarkable aspects of Cleopatra was her linguistic prowess. She was fluent in several languages, including Egyptian, Greek, Latin, and possibly others, which allowed her to communicate effectively with various cultures and political leaders. This multilingual ability was a significant asset in her diplomatic engagements and helped her maintain strong political ties. Cleopatra's reign was characterized by a remarkable blend of Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. She embraced Egyptian customs and religious practices, presenting herself as the reincarnation of the goddess Isis, while also maintaining strong connections to her Greek heritage. This cultural syncretism was reflected in the art, architecture, and religious ceremonies of her time, creating a unique and vibrant cultural landscape. The tomb at Taposiris Magna, believed to be Cleopatra's final resting place, is a testament to her architectural vision. The complex features intricate carvings, hidden chambers, and sophisticated tunnels, highlighting the advanced engineering and architectural skills of the period. The tomb's design and construction reflect the grandeur and sophistication that Cleopatra likely envisioned for her eternal abode. The artifacts discovered within the tomb are rich with symbolism. Golden jewelry, statues, and inscriptions reflect Cleopatra's royal status, religious beliefs, and political ambitions. These artifacts offer a glimpse into her life, her reign, and her desire to be remembered as a divine ruler. The symbols and inscriptions provide valuable insights into how Cleopatra viewed herself and how she wanted to be perceived by future generations. The discovery of hidden chambers and tunnels within the tomb complex suggests that Cleopatra may have taken great care to ensure the security and sanctity of her final resting place. These hidden features indicate a sophisticated understanding of architecture and a deep respect for the afterlife. The hidden chambers and tunnels add an element of mystery and intrigue to the tomb, highlighting the lengths to which Cleopatra went to protect her legacy. The tomb complex at Taposiris Magna is extensive, featuring a series of interconnected chambers and tunnels. The main burial chamber, believed to be the final resting place of Cleopatra, is adorned with intricate carvings and decorated with golden artifacts. The size of the tomb and its elaborate design indicate that it was intended for a person of significant importance, supporting the theory that it belongs to Cleopatra. Among the artifacts discovered were numerous statues, some depicting Cleopatra herself, others representing Egyptian gods and goddesses. The team also found a wealth of golden jewelry, including necklaces, bracelets, and rings, many of which are inscribed with hieroglyphs and symbols associated with royalty and divinity. Additionally, coins bearing Cleopatra's likeness and inscriptions were uncovered, further supporting the identification of the tomb. These artifacts not only highlight Cleopatra's royal status, but also provide a tangible connection to the historical figure, enriching our understanding of her life and reign. One of the most enduring mysteries surrounding Cleopatra is the exact circumstances of her passing. The traditional account suggests that she took herself by allowing an asp, a venomous snake, to bite her. However, some scholars propose alternative theories. Another intriguing theory is that Cleopatra's relationship with Rome was more complex than commonly portrayed. Some historians believe that her alliances with Julius Caesar and later with Mark Antony were part of a broader strategy to create a unified Greco-Roman Egyptian empire, with Alexandria as its capital. This theory suggests that Cleopatra's ambitions extended beyond Egypt, envisioning a new world order centered around her rule. The discovery of Cleopatra's tomb has also sparked speculation about a potential curse associated with disturbing her final resting place. Similar to the curse of Tutankhamun's tomb, some believe that those who enter Cleopatra's tomb may face misfortune or supernatural retribution. While there is no concrete evidence to support this theory, it adds an element of mystery and intrigue to the discovery. One of the most mysterious coincidences related to the discovery of Cleopatra's tomb is the alignment of astrological events. Researchers noted that significant breakthroughs in the excavation process often coincided with notable celestial events, such as eclipses and planetary conjunctions. Some believe that these alignments were not mere coincidences, but rather signs of divine intervention or ancient knowledge encoded in the tomb's design. Several members of the excavation team reported experiencing intuitive insights and inexplicable hunches that guided their efforts. These insights often led to significant discoveries, such as the location of hidden chambers or the interpretation of cryptic inscriptions. While these experiences cannot be scientifically explained, they add a layer of mystery to the discovery process. Cleopatra's legacy also includes her efforts to position herself as a divine ruler. She was closely associated with the goddess Isis and often depicted herself as the goddess's earthly embodiment. This association was part of her strategy to legitimize her rule and strengthen her connection with the Egyptian people. The artifacts found in her tomb, including statues and inscriptions depicting her as Isis, underscore this aspect of her reign.
Tomb of Tutankhamun, Valley of the Kings, Egypt. The tomb of Tutankhamun, designated KV62, lies in the Valley of the Kings near Luxor, Egypt. This tomb belonged to the boy pharaoh Tutankhamun, who ruled during the 18th dynasty. Though his reign was short and unremarkable, the 1922 discovery of his nearly intact tomb by Howard Carter's team brought him global fame. The tomb's small size and hidden entrance protected it from grave robbers for over 3 millennia, preserving a royal burial. The tomb contained over 5,000 objects, including gold jewelry, chariots, statues, weapons, clothing, and the famous gold death mask. These opulent burial goods illustrate the wealth and power of Egyptian pharaohs. The discovery ignited Tutmania and popularized Egyptian art. Beyond its appeal, the tomb provided invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian culture and tomb robbery. Today, Tutankhamun's tomb, KV62, is open to the public. While most artifacts are now in the Grand Egyptian Museum in Giza, his mummy and sarcophagus remain. Tutankhamun's fame continues to fuel interest in ancient Egypt. Mausoleum of the first Qin Emperor, Xi'an, China. The mausoleum of the first Qin Emperor, Qin Shi Huang, located in Lintong District, Xi'an, China, was built from 246 BCE and took 38 years to complete. The accidental discovery of the Terracotta Army in 1974 revealed a vast funerary complex designed to mirror the emperor's earthly realm and ensure his afterlife rule. The Terracotta Army consists of approximately 8,000 life-size terracotta soldiers, horses and chariots, each with unique features, showcasing the Qin dynasty's military power and craftsmanship. The mausoleum complex also includes bronze ritual vessels, jade jewelry, and gold and silver ornaments. The main tomb mound, possibly containing an underground palace with rivers of mercury and booby traps, remains unexcavated. The Terracotta Army, a masterpiece of Chinese sculpture, and the entire mausoleum site, the largest preserved archaeological site in China, are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Museum of the Terracotta Warriors and Horses displays a portion of the excavated figures, attracting millions of visitors. The decision to leave the main tomb mound unexcavated reflects the challenges and ethical considerations of preserving such a complex site. Tomb of the Lord of Saipan, Huaca Rajada, Peru. Located in Huaca Rajada, Peru, the Tomb of the Lord of Saipan, a high-ranking Moche warrior priest, is a significant archaeological discovery. The intact tomb, dating to 650 AD, was discovered in 1987 by Dr. Walter Alva. The Lord of Saipan was buried with opulent grave goods, including gold, silver, and precious stones. Notable finds include a gold and turquoise mask and necklaces featuring gold and silver peanuts. He was also buried with remains of 6 others and animals, suggesting complex burial rituals. The artifacts underscore his high social status and religious importance. The discovery provides unprecedented insights into Moche culture. The artifacts are now housed in the Royal Tombs of Saipan Museum in Lambayeque, Peru. Newgrange Burial Mound, County Meath, Ireland. Located in Boyne Valley, County Meath, Ireland, Newgrange, burial mound dates back to 3200 BCE, predating Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids. Many archaeologists regard it as Europe's most impressive Stone Age burial site. The large circular mound, once surrounded by standing stones, measures 279 feet in diameter. Its entrance leads to a 62-foot passage opening into a central chamber with 3 alcoves. Stones at Newgrange have carvings of spirals, zigzags, and other patterns, possibly related to astronomical events. Rediscovered in 1699, archaeological investigations revealed its significance. Newgrange aligns with the winter solstice sunrise, illuminating the chamber. This suggests advanced astronomical understanding and connection to celestial cycles. Classified as a passage tomb, Newgrange likely served astrological, spiritual, religious, and ceremonial purposes. It provides insights into Neolithic burial practices, art, and advanced knowledge. Today, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, accessible through guided tours. Tomb of Kazanlak, Kazanlak, Bulgaria. The Thracian tomb of Kazanlak, Bulgaria, dates to the late 4th century BCE. It was part of the necropolis of Southopolis, capital of the Thracian king Suits III. Believed to be the final resting place of a Thracian ruler and his wife, The tomb was discovered in 1944. The Tholos tomb structure features a narrow corridor leading to a round burial chamber with a beehive-shaped dome. The tomb's significance lies in its well-preserved murals and frescoes depicting Thracian culture and burial rituals. These vibrant paintings are considered Bulgaria's best-preserved artistic masterpieces from the Hellenistic period and show Greek influence. The Thracian tomb of Kazanlak is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. To preserve the murals, the original tomb is restricted, but visitors can experience a replica nearby. Macedonian Royal Tombs, Vagina, Greece. Located near Vagina, Greece, the royal tombs of Aigai, ancient capital of Macedon, gained prominence in the late 1970s. The discovery of Tomb 2, undisturbed since antiquity, offered insights into Macedonian funerary practices and royalty. Archaeologist Manolis Andronikos identified it as the tomb of Philip II, Alexander the Great's father. A golden larnax with the Star of Vagina held cremated remains, alongside weapons, armor, and a gold wreath. Unequal greaves supported accounts of Philip II's limp. The royal tombs confirmed Aigai's location and provided invaluable insights into Macedonian culture and history. The site is now the Museum of the Royal Tombs of Aigai, Vagina. West Kennet Long Barrow, Wiltshire, England. The West Kennet Long Barrow, near Avebury in Wiltshire, England, is one of Britain's largest and most impressive Neolithic chambered tombs. Built around 3650 BC, this earthen mound measures approximately 100 meters in length and features a facade of sarsen stones leading to a central passage with 5 burial chambers. Excavations have revealed the remains of at least 46 individuals, along with pottery, beads, and stone implements. Evidence suggests that the bones were rearranged over time, indicating complex burial rites. The construction of the Long Barrow would have required significant labor, highlighting its importance to the prehistoric inhabitants. The site is part of the Avebury and Stonehenge UNESCO World Heritage Site and provides insights into Neolithic burial practices and beliefs. Qom el-Shakafa Catacombs, Alexandria, Egypt. The catacombs of Qom el-Shakafa in Alexandria, Egypt, blend ancient Egyptian and Greco-Roman funerary traditions. This multi-level burial site dates to the 2nd century AD. Accidentally rediscovered in 1900, the catacombs extend 30 meters deep and feature a spiral staircase leading to a rotunda and a Roman-style dining hall. The artwork and architecture display a unique mix of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman styles. The catacombs could hold up to 300 bodies, with the Hall of Caracalla possibly serving as a mass burial chamber. Considered the largest Roman burial site in Egypt, offering insight into the funerary customs and artistic fusion of Greco-Roman Egypt.
Around 4500 to 1900 BCE, the Sumerian civilization flourished in southern Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, and is acknowledged as one of the earliest advanced civilizations in human history. Renowned for its pioneering achievements in writing, architecture, and governance, Sumer left an indelible mark on subsequent cultures and civilizations. The civilization was situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, in a fertile floodplain often referred to as the cradle of civilization. This region's rich soil and abundant water resources were crucial for developing early agriculture and urban settlements. So what link brings the Anunnaki and the Sumerians together? The concept of the Anunnaki primarily derives from Sumerian cuneiform tablets, the earliest known form of writing. These texts offer detailed descriptions of the Anunnaki, depicted as powerful deities who descended from the heavens to interact with humanity. Among these texts, the Enuma Elish, although a Babylonian creation myth, is heavily influenced by earlier Sumerian traditions. This myth recounts the creation of the world and humanity by gods, some of whom are interpreted as the Anunnaki. In this narrative, the god Marduk, who might be associated with the Anunnaki, defeats the primordial chaos dragon Tiamat and uses her body to form the heavens and the earth. Following the establishment of order, Marduk and the gods create humans from the blood of the god Kingu, Tiamat's chief lieutenant. This act of creation is believed to have been done to fashion humans as laborers for the gods, relieving the lesser gods of their burdensome tasks. Some theorists suggest that this myth reflects an ancient memory of genetic engineering by the Anunnaki, who created humans to serve their purposes. The Atrahasis epic provides another significant account of human creation involving the Anunnaki. According to this epic, the Anunnaki gods, led by Enki, create humans to bear the toil of the lesser gods burdened with maintaining the earth. The story begins with the lesser gods laboring to maintain the earth, growing increasingly discontented with their workload. In response, the high god Enki proposes the creation of humans to alleviate their suffering. Humans are created from clay mixed with the blood of a slain god, suggesting a divine origin that imbues humans with life and purpose. This myth also includes a flood narrative, where the god Enlil, displeased with human noise and disobedience, decides to exterminate humanity with a great flood. Enki, sympathetic to humans, instructs Atrahasis to build an ark to survive the deluge. The survival of Atrahasis and his family ensures the continuation of human life, a theme that resonates with later flood myths in various cultures. The Sumerians are credited with remarkable achievements in various fields, including astronomy, mathematics, and metallurgy. Their ability to chart celestial bodies, develop a sophisticated calendar, and implement a base 60 numbering system demonstrates an advanced understanding of the universe that some believe was imparted by extraterrestrial beings. Their astronomical knowledge is particularly fascinating. Sumerian star charts exhibit detailed knowledge of the movements of planets and stars. Some tablets even depict the heliocentric model of the solar system, a concept not recognized by mainstream science until much later. The Mul-Apin tablets, for instance, contain detailed observations of celestial bodies and phenomena, including the positions and movements of stars and planets, which suggest a level of astronomical knowledge that is astonishing for their time. In mathematics, the Sumerians made several innovations that continue to influence us today. Their base 60 system is the basis for our 60-second minute, 60-minute hour, and 360-degree circle. This system's complexity and utility suggest a deep understanding of mathematics that some argue could have been influenced by advanced beings. They also used sophisticated geometry in their architectural designs, including the construction of ziggurats and urban planning, which some theorists believe indicates advanced external knowledge. The precision and scale of these structures are impressive, hinting at an advanced understanding of geometric principles. The Sumerians were also highly skilled in metallurgy, working with various metals, including gold, silver, copper, and bronze. Their ability to create intricate jewelry, weapons, and tools from these metals suggests advanced metallurgical techniques that might have been influenced by the Anunnaki. The quality and complexity of their metalwork indicate a level of expertise that would be challenging without some form of advanced knowledge or assistance. Additionally, according to some theories, humans were allegedly created to perform laborious tasks for the Anunnaki, particularly in mining gold. This precious metal was supposedly needed by the Anunnaki to repair their home planet's atmosphere. This idea ties into the advanced metallurgical skills of the Sumerians, suggesting that their expertise in metalwork might have had a more profound and possibly extraterrestrial origin. Zecharia Sitchin's interpretations propose that the Anunnaki, an advanced extraterrestrial race, genetically engineered humans by combining their DNA with that of early hominids. This theory, although controversial, presents a fascinating alternative view on human origins. According to Sitchin, humans were created to serve as a labor force for the Anunnaki, particularly in their mining operations. Sitchin posits that the Anunnaki combined their genetic material with that of Homo erectus, an early hominid species. This genetic manipulation purportedly resulted in Homo sapiens, explaining the sudden leap in human evolution and the development of advanced capabilities such as tool use, language, and social structures. Some proponents of this theory argue that the rapid development of human civilization and technological advancements during the Neolithic Revolution align with the timeframe of potential Anunnaki intervention. In Sumerian mythology, Adamu is often considered the prototype of modern humans. Created by the gods Enki and Ninhursag, Adamu's story parallels the biblical Adam, suggesting a common origin for these creation myths. Adamu's creation from clay and divine essence might symbolize advanced genetic engineering practices. Enki's role as the god of wisdom and creation aligns with his portrayal as a scientist or geneticist in these myths. According to Sitchin, the primary reason for creating humans was to serve as a labor force for the Anunnaki, specifically in mining gold. Some ancient gold mines in Africa, particularly in regions such as Zimbabwe, have been cited by theorists as potential sites of these early mining operations, purportedly initiated by the Anunnaki. The Sumerian king list is an ancient manuscript that lists kings with improbably long reigns, some lasting tens of thousands of years. These records are often cited as evidence of the Anunnaki's influence, suggesting divine or semi-divine rulership. Before the Great Flood, the Sumerian king list records reigns of incredible lengths, implying that these rulers were more than human. This has led to theories that these kings were either Anunnaki themselves or directly descended from them. The extraordinary lifespans of these pre-Diluvian kings suggest a direct connection to the Anunnaki, who were believed to possess advanced longevity and possibly immortality. After the flood, the reigns of kings become shorter, but are still unusually long by human standards, indicating continued but diminished divine influence. This transition might reflect a gradual withdrawal of the Anunnaki from direct involvement in human affairs. Many Sumerian kings claimed divine ancestry or patronage from the Anunnaki, legitimizing their rule. This connection to the gods reinforced their authority and right to govern, establishing a theocratic system where kingship was seen as divinely ordained. Numerous artifacts from Sumer exhibit technological and artistic sophistication that some interpret as evidence of advanced external influence. Among these, Sumerian cylinder seals stand out for their intricate designs and complex imagery. These seals often feature detailed depictions of gods and mythical creatures, some of which are interpreted as wearing advanced gear, such as helmets and suits, suggesting possible extraterrestrial origins. The seals also depict scenes of divine beings interacting with humans, possibly representing the Anunnaki's involvement in human affairs. These artifacts are seen as crucial evidence of the gods' direct influence on Sumerian society. Some cylinder seals even depict scenes that might represent the genetic creation or manipulation of humans. These images support the genetic engineering theory, suggesting that the Sumerians were aware of or witnessed advanced biological processes. Such depictions add another layer of intrigue to the already fascinating narrative of Anunnaki contact. There are also unusual artifacts resembling descriptions of ancient flying machines, known as vimanas, found in other ancient texts, such as the Hindu epics. These objects might indicate advanced technology that was beyond the capabilities of known human civilizations at the time. The presence of such artifacts suggests that the Sumerians either possessed advanced technology or had contact with beings who did. This supports the idea that the Anunnaki provided technological assistance or left behind technology that influenced human development. Sitchin's theory posits that the Anunnaki originated from Nibiru, a hypothetical planet with a long, elliptical orbit around the Sun. This planet's existence is controversial but continues to intrigue many. Sumerian texts are said to reference Nibiru, suggesting an awareness of a complex solar system. Some tablets describe a 12th planet beyond Neptune, which some interpret as Nibiru. This aligns with modern searches for Planet X, a hypothesized planet in the outer solar system. The detailed astronomical knowledge contained in Sumerian texts indicates a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos. The precision of their celestial observations suggests possible external guidance or instruction. The alignment of ancient Sumerian structures, such as ziggurats with celestial bodies, indicates sophisticated astronomical knowledge that might have been imparted by the Anunnaki. These alignments suggest that the Sumerians built their monuments based on astronomical principles and celestial events. This impressive architectural precision adds to the compelling evidence that Sumerian advancements in various fields could have been influenced by advanced beings.
The Anunnaki, they are these beings that came from off-world.
So these are aliens?
These are aliens. Anunnaki is a general term. It doesn't mean one race. It's a term to say those who came from heaven to earth, that's it. In ancient Sumeria, the people there were advanced beyond belief. So these people were extremely intelligent, but they were influenced by these Anunnaki Atlantean people.
Hidden within the ancient tablets of the Epic of Gilgamesh are secret messages left by the Anunnaki king for modern civilization, offering timeless wisdom and cautionary tales.
We keep slapping our ancient ancestors in the face, doubting their wisdom and doubting their understanding of what really happened.
This legendary narrative, chronicling the adventures of Gilgamesh and his companion Enkidu, reveals profound insights into humanity's quest for immortality, the value of friendship, and the consequences of hubris.
For example, the Epic of Gilgamesh is giving you the full story of Noah's Ark. The generalization of the story is coming directly from these ancient tablets.
As scholars uncover more fragments and interpretations of this ancient epic, they piece together a tapestry of mythology, history, and philosophy. In the mid-19th century, a renewed interest in archaeology and history sparked the rediscovery of ancient civilizations.
The homegrown archaeologists that aren't afraid to talk say that these fortresses were built in a day and a night by the beings that came from heaven.
During this pivotal period, the story of Gilgamesh, a legendary figure from Sumerian lore, began to surface through a series of archaeological excavations in the ancient Near East. These efforts uncovered remnants of a long-forgotten civilization buried under the sands of time. Mesopotamia, often referred to as the cradle of civilization, was located in the fertile region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, corresponding to modern-day Iraq. This region was home to some of the earliest known cities, such as Uruk, and Babylon. The rich soil and abundant water supply supported the development of complex societies, advanced agriculture, and early writing systems, laying the foundations for human civilization.
They actually, in the tablets, talk about clearing out the Euphrates and the Tigris to make it better for irrigation.
In 1849, British archaeologist Austin Henry Layard made a groundbreaking discovery while excavating the ancient city of Nineveh, one of the oldest and most significant cities of the Assyrian Empire. Nineveh, located near the modern city of Mosul in northern Iraq, had been a major center of trade, politics, and culture in ancient Mesopotamia. Among Layard's most remarkable findings was the library of Ashurbanipal, the last great king of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. This vast collection of clay tablets, inscribed with cuneiform script, contained a wealth of information about the Assyrian Empire, its history, religion, literature, and science. The library, dating back to the 7th century BCE, was a treasure trove of knowledge that provided an unprecedented glimpse into the ancient world. Interestingly, the discovery of Ashurbanipal's library was serendipitous. Layard initially set out to find artifacts and treasures, but he stumbled upon a more valuable find: the written records of a civilization.
These people were scribing specifically what they were told to write by their god or their lord or their master.
The sheer volume of tablets, estimated to be around 30,000, suggested a highly literate society that valued the preservation of knowledge. The decipherment of cuneiform was a monumental achievement that unlocked the secrets of ancient Mesopotamian civilization.
These translations are ancient, in my opinion, because we're talking about 17 and 1800s. The tablets were already translated.
Cuneiform, one of the earliest systems of writing, was characterized by its wedge-shaped marks made on clay tablets with a reed stylus. This script was used by several ancient cultures, including the Sumerians, Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. The challenge of deciphering cuneiform fell to scholars like Sir Henry Rawlinson, a British Army officer and linguist. Rawlinson's breakthrough came with the Behistun inscription, a multilingual inscription carved into a cliff in what is now Iran. The inscription, commissioned by King Darius the Great of Persia, was written in 3 languages: Old Persian, Elamite, and Babylonian. By comparing the known language of Old Persian with the cuneiform script, Rawlinson and other scholars were able to crack the code of cuneiform. By the 1850s, significant progress had been made in understanding cuneiform, allowing scholars to begin translating the vast collection of texts from Ashurbanipal's library. Among these texts was a particular set of 12 tablets that revealed a coherent and enthralling narrative: the story of Gilgamesh.
All the different people that have researched them have a very similar story.
The Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known works of literature, is a rich tapestry of mythology, history, and philosophy. The narrative follows Gilgamesh, the semi-divine king of Uruk, and his adventures with his companion Enkidu. Their journey takes them through various trials, including the confrontation with the monster Humbaba, the rejection of the goddess Ishtar, and the quest for immortality following Enkidu's passing. The epic begins with Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, who is described as 2/3 divine and 1/3 human. His extraordinary strength and wisdom make him a formidable ruler, but his arrogance and oppressive rule cause his people to cry out to the gods for relief. In response to their pleas, the gods create Enkidu, a wild man who lives among the animals. Enkidu's initial innocence and harmony with nature contrast sharply with Gilgamesh's urban civilization. A temple servant named Shamhat is sent to tame Enkidu, introducing him to human culture and society. This transformation from wild man to civilized companion sets the stage for his friendship with Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh and Enkidu become fast friends, their bond solidified by their shared adventures. They undertake a perilous journey to the cedar forest to confront Humbaba, the fearsome guardian appointed by the god Enlil. Despite Humbaba's terrifying presence, they manage to defeat him, showcasing their bravery and strength. This victory, however, sows the seeds of their eventual downfall by angering the gods. The gods decree that Enkidu must be expunged as punishment for their defiance. Enkidu's passing is a pivotal moment in the epic, profoundly affecting Gilgamesh. His grief and despair drive him to seek the secret of immortality, fearing his own mortality and the futility of human endeavors. This quest takes him on a journey beyond the known world, into the realms of the gods and the unknown. Gilgamesh's search for eternal life leads him to Utnapishtim, the only mortal granted immortality by the gods after surviving a great flood. Utnapishtim recounts the story of the flood, which closely parallels the biblical account of Noah's Ark. Despite Gilgamesh's efforts, he ultimately fails to obtain immortality. Utnapishtim reveals that the secret of eternal life lies in accepting one's mortality and finding meaning in the transient human experience. An interesting comparison can be made between the Epic of Gilgamesh and Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. Both epics explore themes of heroism, the human condition, and the quest for immortality. However, while Homer's epics are rooted in Greek mythology and focus on the exploits of mortal heroes, the Gilgamesh epic delves deeper into existential questions and the limits of human ambition, reflecting the values and beliefs of ancient Mesopotamian society. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Epic of Gilgamesh is the story of the Great Flood, recounted by Utnapishtim, the immortal survivor. In this narrative, Utnapishtim tells Gilgamesh how the gods decided to send a flood to destroy humanity, but advised him to build a boat to save his family and the seed of all living things. This story bears a striking resemblance to the biblical account of Noah's Ark in the Book of Genesis. Scholars have theorized that the flood myth in the Epic of Gilgamesh may have influenced the biblical narrative, suggesting a shared cultural memory of a catastrophic flood in the ancient Near East. This theory is supported by the fact that flood myths are prevalent in many ancient cultures, pointing to a possible historical event or a collective human response to natural disasters. An intriguing theory posits that Gilgamesh may have been a historical figure who reigned over the city-state of Uruk around 2700 BCE. Evidence supporting this theory includes the Sumerian king list, which mentions a king named Gilgamesh who ruled Uruk for 126 years. While the epic embellishes his life with mythical elements, it is possible that the stories were inspired by a real king, whose deeds and legacy were magnified over time. This theory highlights the fluid boundary between history and myth in ancient storytelling. Over the years, additional fragments of the Gilgamesh epic have been discovered at various archaeological sites across Mesopotamia, such as the ancient cities of Ur and Babylon. These fragments have allowed scholars to fill in gaps and clarify ambiguities in the narrative, enhancing our understanding of the text. Each new discovery has helped refine the epic, revealing variations in the story that reflect different cultural contexts and periods. For instance, some versions emphasize Gilgamesh's divinity more than others, while certain passages highlight different moral and philosophical themes.
Beneath the Giza Plateau, near the Great Sphinx and pyramids, lies a mysterious structure that may reshape our understanding of ancient Egypt. Known as the Osiris Shaft, this subterranean complex challenges conventional timelines. Could it predate the pyramids? And what was its true purpose? Recent discoveries and a groundbreaking dating method have led Egyptologists to rethink what they thought they knew about this ancient civilization. The Osiris Shaft descends 35 meters into the bedrock beneath the causeway leading to the Sphinx. It comprises multiple levels, with the lowest chamber housing a granite sarcophagus surrounded by water. This chamber is sometimes referred to as the Tomb of Osiris. But what exactly was this structure intended for? Its purpose remains shrouded in mystery, with no clear answers in sight. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Osiris Shaft is the unusual material used in one of the sarcophagi. Egyptologists discovered a stone unlike anything previously found in Egypt. How did it end up here, deep in the bedrock? Even stranger, the structure itself seems to have been designed without easy access in mind. There are no steps or ladders leading down to its depths. The ones installed now were placed there by modern archaeologists, suggesting that the ancient builders had no intention of facilitating frequent visits. The logistics of moving the massive sarcophagi, some weighing up to 40 tons, further deepen the mystery. How were they lowered with such precision into the shaft, which itself was not designed for easy entry or exit? The precision required to lower these gigantic objects without error suggests a technological ability that we do not fully understand. One sarcophagus found on the second level was particularly remarkable. It was covered in a thin film of bitumen, with a metallic coating beneath it. This metal, containing elements like lead and zinc, is puzzling. Why use a metallic coating inside a sarcophagus? Lead, in particular, raises questions, as it is known today for its use in radiation shielding. Could the ancient Egyptians have been aware of this? Moreover, measurements showed unusually high levels of gamma radiation inside the sarcophagus, further hinting at a function beyond burial. The method used to date one of these sarcophagi, called optical thermoluminescence, measures the last time the stone was exposed to light. The results suggested a date as far back as 3,350 BCE, centuries before the accepted construction dates of the pyramids. This implies that the Osiris shaft could predate the pyramids and the earliest dynasties of Egypt. What's even more curious is the material of one sarcophagus, dacite, an igneous rock not found anywhere in Egypt. In fact, after consulting with geologists, it was confirmed that there are no significant dacite deposits in Africa large enough to produce a sarcophagus of this size. This means the stone was transported from outside the continent, perhaps from Europe or the Black Sea. The logistics of transporting a 40-ton block of stone across seas and deserts remains a mystery. Why didn't the builders use locally sourced granite or basalt, which would have been far easier to acquire? This discovery challenges long-standing views on ancient Egypt's chronology. The dating method used reveals a time well before the pyramids, offering a glimpse into a distant past. Could the Osiris shaft represent the work of a forgotten civilization, one whose achievements have been lost to time? As we explore the depths of the shaft, more questions emerge. Was the shaft's design deliberate, meant to preserve the dead using unknown methods? Could the high radiation levels within the sarcophagi have played a role in ancient preservation techniques? The builders of this structure may have known things we have yet to uncover. As archaeologists delve deeper into the Osiris shaft, they challenge established notions of ancient Egypt. On the third and deepest level, a stone island surrounded by water holds yet another granite sarcophagus. This time, the sarcophagus is made of granite, a material more common in Egyptian structures. However, its location deep underground and surrounded by water raises further questions. This sarcophagus dates to around 2370 BCE, placing it in the Old or Middle Kingdom. Interestingly, the design of the third level seems to be a later addition to the shaft, suggesting the site may have been used and modified over centuries. If true, this means the Osiris shaft was considered important long before the time of the pyramids. One of the most intriguing features of the third level is the water system. A meticulously shaped canal surrounds the chamber, and the water level appears to be maintained at a precise depth. How did the builders engineer such a system over 100 feet underground? The bedrock in this area is solid, making natural water leaks unlikely. This suggests that the builders tapped into a hidden water source, possibly through an underground channel or spring. At the Osirian, another ancient Egyptian site, similar subterranean water channels have been discovered, indicating that the ancient builders had advanced knowledge of hydroengineering. Water was often seen as a source of life and regeneration, and its presence in the Osiris shaft may have had symbolic significance in ancient rituals related to death and rebirth. This brings us to the connection between the shaft and Osiris, the Egyptian god of the dead and the underworld. According to myth, Osiris was resurrected in a sarcophagus placed on an island surrounded by water. The third level of the shaft closely mirrors this imagery. Could the builders have been trying to replicate the tomb of Osiris? Or was this part of a deeper religious practice? Oddly, the sarcophagi found in the Osiris shaft are devoid of inscriptions, which is unusual for ancient Egyptian tombs. This absence of hieroglyphs has led some scholars to suggest that these sarcophagi were not intended for traditional burials, but served a different, perhaps secretive, purpose. Adding to the mystery, researchers detected significant levels of radiation inside the sarcophagi. Combined with the lead coating found on the second level, this suggests that the sarcophagi might have had an advanced preservative function, something we do not yet fully understand. If the ancient Egyptians had knowledge of radiation's effects on preservation, it would represent a technological leap far beyond what we currently attribute to their civilization. Beyond the physical mysteries, the Osiris shaft raises important questions about the origins of Egyptian civilization. The dating of the second-level sarcophagus to as early as 3350 BCE points to a pre-dynastic origin, making the shaft one of the oldest structures in Egypt. As we continue to investigate the Osiris shaft, the possibility of discovering hidden chambers, artifacts, or tunnels remains high. The Osiris shaft is rewriting our understanding of ancient Egypt and perhaps even pointing to a forgotten chapter in human history.
What made KV62 different? Why did this particular burial endure when so many others were lost to time and tomb robbers? And what have recent technologies uncovered? Secrets that even Carter could never have imagined. The answers are as mysterious as they are revelatory. It all began with a whisper, a hint in dusty records that one tomb had been missed. In the early 20th century, the Valley of the Kings was considered nearly exhausted. Dozens of tombs had been discovered, catalogued, and in many cases looted long before modern archaeology. But Carter was convinced there was one more, a minor pharaoh, a forgotten ruler. He kept digging year after year, until on November 4th, 1922, a water boy tripped on a stone step buried beneath rubble. That moment triggered the most extraordinary find in archaeological history. Tomb KV62 wasn't grand from the outside. No towering colonnades, no massive statues, just a sealed doorway deep under the ground. But inside, time had stood still. The antechamber was packed. Golden beds shaped like divine animals, gilded chariots, ceremonial weapons, and intricately painted boxes. But the real treasure was deeper still, the sealed burial chamber. Within it lay 3 nested coffins. The innermost was solid gold, and inside, resting in death much as he did in life, was Tutankhamun, a boy who had become king at just 9 years old, ruling during one of Egypt's most tumultuous periods. But who was Tutankhamun? And why was his tomb so modest compared to other pharaohs? That's where the mystery deepens. Tutankhamun ruled during the 18th dynasty, an era dominated by religious upheaval. His father, the heretic king Akhenaten, had attempted to dismantle Egypt's entire pantheon in favor of a single deity, the Aten. When Tutankhamun ascended the throne, he reversed these reforms, restoring the traditional gods and the capital city of Thebes. But he died young, around age 18, and it seems his tomb was a hurried affair, likely built for someone else and repurposed at the last minute. And that's precisely what may have saved it. Because it was small, tucked away, and quickly buried by debris from subsequent tombs, looters passed it over. While nearly every royal burial in the valley was ransacked in antiquity, KV62 escaped notice, hidden in plain sight. But the tomb wasn't completely intact. The antechamber had been broken into twice in ancient times, yet both attempts seemed rushed. The inner burial chamber remained sealed. The greatest prize, Tutankhamun himself, was undisturbed. Recent CT scans and DNA analysis have added haunting new details to the story. Tutankhamun suffered from a series of congenital disorders, likely due to royal inbreeding. His foot was deformed and he walked with a cane. In fact, over 130 walking sticks were found in the tomb. He had malaria, a fractured femur, and signs of multiple infections. It's possible his death was the result of an accident combined with illness. Not a glorious battlefield end, but a slow, tragic decline. And yet, the treasures buried with him defy his modest legacy. A dagger forged from meteorite iron, a golden mask inlaid with lapis lazuli and obsidian, thrones carved with images of a young pharaoh embraced by his queen, Ankhesenamun. These artifacts whisper stories of devotion, power, and divine authority. In death, Tutankhamun became immortal, not as a mighty conqueror, but as a symbol of rediscovered wonder. But even a century after its discovery, KV-62 continues to reveal new secrets. In 2015, radar scans suggested the possible existence of hidden chambers behind the tomb walls. Theories exploded. Could Queen Nefertiti, Akhenaten's queen and perhaps Tutankhamun's mother, lie just beyond a sealed partition? Could KV-62 be only part of a larger, more elaborate royal complex? Subsequent scans produced conflicting results. Some found anomalies in the walls, others found none. The debate rages on. Egyptologists remain divided. The Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities has continued to investigate, but no definitive chamber has yet been revealed. And still, the tomb keeps its silence. Yet the very idea that more may lie behind those walls is tantalizing, because KV-62 is a paradox. It is both a final resting place and a beginning. Its discovery sparked a renewed global fascination with Egyptology. It redefined how we understand ancient burial practices, dynastic politics, and the lengths the ancients went to preserve their dead for eternity. And Tutankhamun, once a footnote in history, became a global icon. But perhaps the greatest secret KV-62 holds is not physical at all. It is the reminder that history can still surprise us, that even after millennia, the earth can whisper long-forgotten names, that glory, immortality, and memory often outlast empires, and that the desert still guards its mysteries, waiting for the curious, the patient, and the bold to uncover them. In the stillness of the Valley of the Kings, beneath layers of time and silence, KV-62 remains. A tomb, a time capsule, a testament. What else lies beneath our feet, waiting to rewrite history? KV-62 stunned the world with its secrets sealed in darkness for over 3,000 years. But that was just one tomb. Deep beneath Egypt's sands, a recently uncovered tunnel has led Egyptologists to something even more bewildering. A hidden network of tombs, and a discovery no one saw coming. What they found defies every expectation.
There's something called the Osiris shaft, which is located directly under the causeway between the Sphinx and the second pyramid. It goes about 100 feet underground. It's carved out of the limestone bedrock. It's the creepiest place I've ever been in my life. It's disturbing. So it's 3 different shafts, and you go down, and here's where it gets, this is the crazy part. When you get to the 3rd level, which is completely dark and freaky, there was a side tunnel. Zahi Hawass himself, there was a documentary, went down there, and he's standing in front of this tunnel that went sideways, and he says, it's yet to be explored, and I don't know what's down there, but Joe, they've since sealed it up. It's like cinder blocks, they sealed it up.
What?
Yes! There are things that have gone underground in Egypt that, for whatever reason, Joe, is just off limits to the public.